right, welcome back to About Even, number one betting show in all of human history. To what, 200,000 years? I think the Homo sapien is up to something there or thereabouts. I mean, we're guesstimating, obviously. But I'm happy to go with 200,000. It's a good round number, an honest number, a true number. That's how long it's been for us, and we're still number one, About Even. So shout out to us. But shout out to Neds for supporting the number one show of all time. Great supporters of ours. Great supporters in the weekend, in the pot. If you're in the pot, you made some profit. Don't fucking suck that you didn't make all the money in the world like I looked after you. That was me. I'm in a rich vein of form, and I, quite frankly, haven't received enough messages saying thanks for that, mate. So unlike the rest of you that don't thank people, I'm thanking Neds for all their hard work. They're terrific. And if you're not betting with them, then grow a set. We are light on troops today. Tom's away on the Goldie. I can't be there because life. Guru, life as well, which leaves me and the great, the incomparable Sebastian.
Yep.
Who, reliable, honest and true.
Reliable. You know, I woke up on the floor last night at 1:30 with the baby on my chest because I was sick and had to make room for him. But I'm back. I'm always here. No days off sort of vibe. Skeleton crew. When you call in a skeleton crew, I'm obviously part of the skeleton crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm feeling, I had a shit week on the punt. We'll get to that. But I had a good weekend away. I missed out on the Dribblers' Day Out, but I got to go play Brookwater in Queensland. Shout out Gaz LFC 90. Hell of a course, hell of a time, hell of a crew.
How is Gaz?
Gaz is good.
Yeah.
Gaz is good, yeah. And Spence also. We're a bit of a crew now. We played together in the Ash Party Classic or Invitational, and then we played there up there. Matt joined us there as well.
You met Ash yet?
Not like sat down and had a dinner.
Is she getting around?
At the Ash Party Invitational, she's, hosting, just floating around and, doing all that sort of stuff.
But is Gaz like, this is my mate Sebo? Sebo, this is my wife, Ash? Any of that sort of stuff going on?
Yeah, maybe a little bit down the Ash Party Clay. We were just on the golf course on Friday. Fucking had the best front night of my life. And then shat the bed. And then the Bunnies were playing that day, and they shat the bed. And then I shat the bed accountability. And it got me thinking again, my entire life is pegged to how the Rabbitohs are going. Like, my betting, my golf, all that sort of stuff. But I'm back here fresh. Last night, didn't get time to decompress after Last of Us Episode 2 because that's when the baby started crying, getting sick. But fuck me, something just about good TV episodes just fill you with some sort of pep in your step. I don't know what it is. So I'm hoping this week I can translate that into my betting.
Well, you're going to need it, mate, quite frankly.
Yep.
And Rando, mate, how are you? I'm going to introduce you early today.
I know. It's incredible.
Skeleton crew. So, I'm going to call on you a bit more today, mate.
I know, exactly. Skeleton crew, ready to rip. Had a good rip on Saturday, actually. Great fun there at the Dribblers' Day Out.
Yes.
Got a few winners as well, including some of yours. So, thank you for the winners, Eddie.
No, you're more than
welcome. But no, feeling good. Skeleton crew, just the three of us. Love it.
Yeah, send in a skeleton crew. Get the job done.
Get the job done.
Yeah.
Just a couple of fucking job doers, punters and dribblers. All right, we're going to do accountability here, which is obviously an opportunity every week for me to gloat because I'm just killing it. Dragons 20 defeat the Seagulls 18. Nothing doing. Just a bad game of rugby league. Objectively bad game of rugby league. Manly suck at the moment.
Yeah.
There's no other, What else do I say? Manly suck at the moment. You're losing the Dragons at home. Obviously, there was a traitor in the box, but, keen-eyed observationists would point out that he was also in the Eels box and they won. So, does that make any sense? Probably not. I think the Seagulls just suck.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, you don't want to include a try scorer from the Manly side in any sort of bet at the moment. Maybe that will change once Turbo comes back. But, I picked the line from a mile away. But then you just needed a Garrick, and a Garrick isn't going to get close.
Well, Garrick didn't get close. Shout out to the punters and dribblers just persevering with Hamale as well.
6 weeks in a row.
6 weeks in a row. Yeah, I think he's $3.50 this week, which is, one try in 7 weeks. Do the math. Good odds. No, we love Hamale. It's just that I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole anymore.
No.
And that's that.
You got to move on.
You got to move on. You got to make your peace with it. Bulldogs 32 defeated the Rabbitohs 0. I got something to say about this game. because I had only dogs to score 10 plus points, $4.20. So when, like, there's a difference between like a kid bet and a man bet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Think about this. Like on a Saturday, you're down at the pub, you're watching the ponies run. And all these like 20-year-olds roll in off their guts. We're like, man, what are we going to bet on the fucking doggies, Rabbitohs game, man? Oh, let's just go Latrell. Let's go. He's such a sick player, man. Let's go Cody, man. Like Rabbitohs never lose this fixture, man. Let's just load up on them. That's kid bet, right? Dad over in the corner who's picked 4 from 5 at Randwick, who's flying with a Birmingham, but he wasn't at Randwick. Like, who's now got a dad dick, goes, righto, but what about the Bulldogs? Okay, because the Bulldogs, the best offensive team in the comp, have had a week to watch, an extra week, 2 weeks to watch film and get prepared for this fucking side that don't have their halves, their starting halves playing. So, yeah, I like them to be held to under 10 points. In the end, 32-0. So that's one of the great bets all time at $4.20.
Yep.
Sebo, Bunnies, plus 10.5 tripled.
Yep. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to say it was a dumb bet. I'm just going to say I got absolutely pumped and the Bunnies got pumped. Like Wayne Bennett, 10.5 points. You think, but yeah, look, it just never was on.
So it was
just
a dumb
never
bet, though.
Well, not every bet that doesn't get up's a dumb bet.
No, I agree.
It wasn't a smart bet. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like tripled. I'm in a bit of world of hurt at the moment, and that just typifies it. When the Bunnies go shit, I tip shit. Yep. Not much more to say on it.
No, I think so. I think you've said all that needs to be said, mate. Bunnies triple.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. Dolphins 42 defeated the Storm 22. That's shocked the nation. That's shocked the rugby league nation, this. Christian Wolf, alpha male. Heard of him? He seems to be getting the boys firing on all cylinders. Hughes doesn't score, though, for Tom. Herbie scored for me, but Katoa did not.
Hey,
Sebo had
Rando,
Munster.
Could you not right now, is there a way you can get hindsight odds and see if you just put money on the outsider head-to-head to win? I think this season you'd be well up.
Yes.
Like, well up.
Mate, there's been a lot of long donkeys hit.
Yeah.
They were at 420, 440, 450, something like that, the Dolphins. 42 to 22. Imagine what 13 plus was paying. 8?
Like,
9,
there's
10?
been some big upsets and just, like, generally a shitload of upsets every round.
Which has made it difficult to punt.
Very difficult to punt. It's one thing to tip. You know, people who tip and don't punt are like, I'm just going to pick who wins and there's nothing at stake. That's even hard at this point, let alone punting, where you're trying to pick margins, points, try scorers. It's getting very hard. Obviously, you're going okay, Eddie, but I just wanted to make a note that we've been doing this show for, 4 or 5 years? I can't remember a season that has been as confusing to look at a game and try to figure out what's going to happen.
It's more so that the underdog has the same winning percentage as they had last season. It's more the odds of that underdog winning the game. It's been like $3, $4, and you've been going, no way, disregard it. Whereas the underdogs last season, I guess, closer in odds. That's what's confusing the most about people.
Right.
So, like, the donkeys are getting up.
The donkeys,
as opposed to, you know, he might be a close dog, but he's still a dog.
Yeah.
The donkeys are winning this season, punters. It was worth remembering. Donkeys getting up this season. Sebo had Munster doesn't score. Guru, Pappy, Katoa, Grant, Bostock, whatever. And the Lippy, sure, cool. Warriors 20 defeated the Broncos 18. This is just an example of me really dialed the fuck in with a pinch of luck, obviously. I Metcalf into a Jesse Arthurs at 6.14. That's just...
It's a good bet.
That's just easy peasy.
Sensation.
Lemon squeezy, as we say these days. Used to say something else. We can't say that anymore, I don't think. Well, I don't know why you can't, but apparently you don't. Guru had Halasima. Why's he dropped this week? We'll get to that. Guru as well with Walsh. There's a couple of players this year that have been not blackbooked, blacklisted.
Yep.
Walsh,
Yep.
you're done. Hamole, you're out.
Yep.
Thomas Jenkins.
Well, exactly. See you later.
Mulatalo.
Mulatalo.
Gone.
Yep.
You got it. You got to
Is
eyeball
DWZ
these.
even playing or is he retired?
No, he's injured.
He's injured.
But he's playing. He hasn't scored this season, I guess.
Well, but for a different reason.
Yeah.
You've got to start eyeballing these players early, punters and dribblers. We're into round 8 now. You need to have a comprehensive list of who to stay the fuck away from.
Because people do the same thing. People think they've come up with a brilliant unit scoop, but they're going, I'm going to get Hamole. Who else am I going to get? And they're just going to get all these guys that just don't score anymore.
Yep.
And it's like going through a game, like The Last of Us. Have you ever played one of those games? Red Dead Redemption, whatever. And trying to beat a level and just doing the same thing every time. You have to come up with a different fucking tactic because you're not getting to the end of this level.
Exactly right. Did Walsh score?
Yeah, Walsh
I did
scored.
score.
Yeah. Oh. He got that really scrappy
My
one late
apologies.
when they put the kick in.
I take all that back. I take all that back. I have to take it back. I actually didn't think he scored. Again, I've got a bit going on, so you need to forgive me. Thank you very much.
Still, I wouldn't include him.
Still I wouldn't include him. So, like, that's a vibe thing as well. You look at him, you're like, nah. Is he suspended, injured?
No, he's injured for the next 6 weeks, so that's
Okay,
probably
so
why
now
he
we
won't
don't need
score,
to worry
Sebo.
about it.
Yeah.
I actually did have that down as a winner for Guru. Did I?
Yeah, I think in the end column you did, but you just didn't have the Walsh green.
Yes. No, I did. Okay. Move on, Edward. To the Panthers, 40 defeating the Chooks, 12. Like, boring. You know? The Panthers were going to come back at some point. I just wish I tipped accordingly. I sort of did. I got a two-po. Marky Mark doesn't score. He could be a handful on the wing this weekend. Or Friday, actually. Just quietly. But a lot of red there, so I'm just going to move on. Raiders 30 defeated the Titans 20. Shout out to Guru, who, like, obviously I was also an AG, but he actually picked how it was going to happen. Chip and chase to himself. Or kick through to himself. Score. Bob's your uncle, 325. Brimmer. He's good for that sort of work.
Yeah, he's great.
As you said last week, if you're going to stand a guy out, you stand out a Brimmer.
Can score a multitude of ways. This was tough for me because I was on a plane back from Brisbane. You know, managing twins on a plane back, always a bit of a tough thing. And you can't, you land, you check the score, then you've got to put your phone in your pocket and just like try and manage the babies. And then you keep checking it. I thought overs was going to hit every day. Flashback, exact same thing happened to me to lose a hot seat last year. I needed Titans to go overs and it looked like they were overs for all money. And then it just stopped and I lost the hot seat bet. It was the final. And I was like, I'm in the show dark and talk about it where shit repeats. I was like, fuck, I'm back here again. I'm in the exact same position. So from now on, if I'm ever on a flight and it's a Titans game playing that day, I am staying the hell away from the over. It's happened twice. It's cost me over $1,000. So
There you go.
Yeah.
Over $1,000. Lippy had Raiders minus 3.5 into Chris, into Nicholson, into Strange. Nicholson didn't score, but that was $36.15. So Paul went out for the Lippy. Sharks 34 defeated the Knights 14. My Easter egg bet with, I was just making that up, right?
Yeah.
And it could have been a bit of fun if it came off. Obviously, Kai Paul doesn't score. Scored, once in 50 games. So, that was always, bold.
I'm not going to blame Rando here.
Okay.
It's partly his fault. But I had AFB in Sharks 13 plus, and he was just giving me Nickera stats. And I'm not blaming Rando because I have banged on Nickera multiple times earlier this season. He just reminded me about Nickera. But this has happened to me this week where I put my gut feel down, and then I'm turning to science a bit too much. I've always been a gut operator. And I'm just going to have to stay away from changing my bets unless when Rando says something, I can feel it in my gut. But the science, I trusted science, and it didn't get me there. So, yeah.
That's happened to you a couple of times this year.
Quite a few times.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
You need to just grip it and rip it, buddy.
Yeah, I really do.
If you come in lost as fuck,
No,
then
but
change. But if you've got a bet...
I mean, I'm just slowly... The last 48 hours have actually been good. Even though I had sick kids, slowly piecing my life back together in the sense of being twin dad. All you have time is for the twins and work. But now, like yesterday, snuck in, 8 laps and a 15-minute sauna. This morning, we were starting a bit late, went down to East Lakes, chipped for 15 minutes. Just those little add-ons to your life once they get completely taken away, just make you feel a little bit more confident. So the point being, I've come in here this morning a little bit more confident, ready to back myself.
Are you feeling more human?
Yeah, just like little things.
Yep.
Like just a sauna and a chipping session. And because for you guys who aren't dads, you wouldn't get it. It hasn't been taken away from you, let alone twin dads, where you don't have it. You just have nothing. You have no time to do anything. Like, it's work and twins. I was up till last night, 1 a.m, sorting out the twins. I was up at 4 a.m. this morning sorting out the twins. Bit of sauna and a chipping session. In amongst that, I'm fucking fine.
Let the man sauna, let the man ship. That's all he's asking for. Eels, 38, defeated the Tigers, 22.
Again, happened to me again. What did I say last week? I came in here and I said, Tyrrell May.
Yep.
He's the guy who's like, hey, I don't do the social media posts, but I'm here to fuck and I'm part of this team.
Yep.
And then I got talked into a Toa. Again. I felt the Tyrrell May.
I actually didn't tell you, Toa.
No, but we were crapping on about Toa.
That was not me this time.
The thing is,
I want to make sure.
I think what you need to be careful of this season, punters and dribblers, as we've gone through accountability this morning, is that adding in value, you can get lured into value, right? Yeah. Like if you've got a $4 or $5 try score, what was Tyrrell May paying about that?
$5.50.
$5.50.
That's good enough.
It's good enough.
That's good enough.
It's good enough. And I just got lured in for the value, but it's just like you don't. It's like people, if you go fishing, if you're actually trying to catch a fish, like you'll make the prawn look like a real prawn, so you fit it on perfectly, take a bit of time, and it's just going to go through. That's what the fish is going to go for. Some people just try throwing as much shit as they can.
Yes.
Like, the more stuff, it's like, the fish ain't dumb.
No.
Like, it's going to want to eat something that looks like a prawn.
Yeah.
Stop trying to load your bait up. Just get something.
Save your Wagyu beef, mate.
Yeah,
like, you don't need to put a steak on this thing.
Yeah. Like, it's, again, vibe was there, but I hadn't sauna.
That's it, but like you have got the vibes.
Yeah.
They are coming to you. You're just not acting on them.
Yeah.
So, I reckon you could start going okay, buddy, if you start thinking properly.
Yeah.
Unit scooper. Oh, so Guru was Iongi. He was plus 6.5. He had a Brown, and Brown didn't score again. See, like that's just dumb punting. Why is Brown in there? You know, like just calm your farm, Guru. You don't need to do that, buddy.
Yeah.
Unit scoopers. I actually thought that I was home and hosed. I had Tupou, I had Cozzy, and then I had Toa. If you watch that game, they just didn't pass him the ball. There was a couple of, like, I would say maybe 2 or 3 opportunities where he was basically home and hosed, and either the centre or the back row, I was like, nah, I'm just going to hang on to it. I'm just going to hog it. Or the man inside him. So that's disappointing because it would have been $13.96 pure, honest unit scooping units that I don't get because Toa didn't score. Tom had 2 from 8 in his trying to pick the round. That was horrific. Sebo had 2 from 8 in his Ozaki. Horrific. Guru had 2 from 6. Lippy had 2 from 4. And Tommy, I don't know what the Raiders line was, but he didn't get it.
No,
he did get it.
Did get it, yeah.
He did get it.
Yeah.
So he's back again.
Yep.
He's back again.
So that rules him out now if he misses.
But he's got to keep rolling.
Yeah, so as soon as he loses, he's out of the seat.
Yep. Was it 3.5?
Yeah,
I think?
3.5.
Yeah,
he probably got on at 1.5 at the start of the week.
I'd say he didn't even put a bet on, so.
Much. Very likely.
So big bag Tommy Burns goes again. How many more has he got?
He's got to get
week
3 in a row.
It's week 9, 9, 10, 11. He's got to get 3 in a row.
Is it week 9?
Yeah, he's got to get 3 in a row.
Wait,
Gets
isn't
3.
it round 7 or is it round 8?
Round 8 this week.
Is it round 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's round 8, mate. Yeah.
Flying.
Fuck the year goes quickly.
Leaderboard. I won the week again. Lol. 6.22 units, 3 from 9 bets. Rue, 2 from 9, 2.03 units. Lippy, 1 from 9, minus 3.32. Tom, 0 from 9, minus 4.27. And Sebo, get the shovel, mate. 0 from 9, minus 16.43.
This is fine.
How many times have you worn that?
This is the second time, and it's only been active for like 4 weeks. But this is what you get with me in my golf game or my punting game. I'm a bipolar roller coaster operator.
Yep.
You know, I just don't go straight line up or down. It's douche, 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 douche.
Yep.
And I'm used to it. I'm used to that in every facet of my life. FIFA, I can lose 8-0 and then come out and beat the other guy, like 20-0.
You're a roller coaster guy.
Roller coaster guy.
Yeah.
Big roller coaster guy. So does that mean I'm going to bounce back straight away? No. But am I comfortable wearing the shovel, knowing that I can tap into vibe and that I've sensed that I'm going to get a unit scooper in the next 4 or 5 weeks? Yeah, I do. I do.
Listen, you're there. If you can hone some stuff, if you can just polish a couple of little errors, then you will be going okay.
Unforced errors.
Unforced errors. You're still coming second. I'm first, 21.22 in the green. it's a nice spot to be. Sebo, minus 14.89 second. Lippy, minus 22.87 third. Guru, minus 28.65 fourth. And Tommy Burns, back to last, minus 32.79. Feels about right. He didn't score any. He didn't get any bets last week. I just like pointing that out, that his method of heaps high odds and I hit him all the time. It just doesn't. That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. It's conserving unit time. And look, maybe I'll be there in a few weeks, but I'm not backing down.
But I just want everyone to be aware of what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's conserving units.
Yep. That's all he's doing. Conserving
That's all
units.
he's doing. Minus 32.79. He just throws in try scores. He goes bang, 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 bang. There's no thought. Listen to what his bets are. He just goes, I think he's going all right.
The only reason he got up is because he did the Roosters bet at $5, which wasn't 3 try scorers.
Exactly. Now, Tom's not here to defend himself, but what would he say? If you go back and listen to his bets, they are soulless. All right, that's accountability. Okay. Game 1, Broncos versus Bulldogs, Suncorp Stadium, $2.55. The Bronx, $1.53. The Dogs. They've come in. Have they come in a bit? I don't know. Anyway, line plus 4.5. Total points plus 42.5. Tightness. They predict tightness. Rando?
It's going to be dry at Suncorp for this game. Now, the Bulldogs, they have lost 10 of their last 11 Thursday night fixtures away from a core stadium. They've lost 12 of their last 13 games at Suncorp as well. The Broncos have a good record against the Dogs, winning 5 of their last 6 meetings. They're without Reece Walsh, and the Broncos, they've lost 8 of their last 10 games without him. However, when Selwyn Cobbo has started at fullback, the Broncos have won their 2 games against Manly and the Panthers. The scoreline in each of those 2 games was 13 points to 12. So could be a golden point game there if you're looking into the stats. For try scorers, you got the leading try scorer, Jesse Arthurs, at $2.10. He's scored in 4 of his last 5 games at Suncorp. And when the Dogs do concede tries, they've conceded 73% of them down their right edge. For a bit more value, you've got Viliami Kikau, scored in 2 of his last 3 games at Suncorp, and a left second rower has scored in the last 2 games against the Broncos.
I like that, Rando. I like that. I'm going to lead us off this time around. I've got Broncos and Arthurs. Now, you might be sitting there going, why the fuck are you going with the Broncos? They've been pretty ordinary the last couple of weeks. The Bulldogs are flying. The Bulldogs will lose a game. And I actually like the Broncos coming into this fixture off the back of a couple of ordinary performances because they've got the cattle. The cattle are on the park.
Yep.
And even if Reece Walsh isn't playing, I'm not too concerned. He hasn't been that flash hot this season. I think the Broncos get the fuck up for this game. I really do. We're going into a public holiday the day afterwards. The people of Brisbane will be, baying for blood, as it were. And I think they can get the chockies. I really do. I think the Bulldogs run into a team foaming at the mouth here. I reckon Madge will have them up and about. And if you give me Jesse Arthurs at 210 for a winger, for a man that will not stop, I'm taking it. 439 combined. Sebo, you seem to be thinking similarly.
There's not too much I can add to that. I'm just taking Broncos outright 255.
Yep.
A, for reasons Eddie's just said. Then I'm in a bit of a Phil Gould crocodile death spiral roll. Everyone's won one, everyone's lost one by round 6, he normally says. It's now round 7. The Bulldogs have to lose at some point. As we just said, these underdogs are winning. And these aren't big underdogs. Broncos, without Reece, it might straighten them up a little bit as well. But like everyone's still there, right? Everyone else is still there. Like Ben Hunt.
They've got a really good side.
Yeah, Payne Haas.
Just 600 games of experience in the halves. That should be fine.
For 255, I'll take that every day of the week. Like, they're going to lose they're going to lose like 3 or 4 this season. I bet the Broncos off the back of, a couple of shit performances. Now they're back home. The Hot Boys are back home. I think they can win 255.
Tough place to go as well. Like, if they're going to win, their first loss, I would say, is going to be away. Suncorp, very tricky. Tricky little spot. And again, I just like the Broncos coming off the back of ordinary games. They go back home. I think they're up and about for this. I really do. Guru has Preston and the Dogs to win both halves, 625. I don't like that bet. And who's the Lippy?
The Lippy is, I think we've had him in before, Mitch Moore, because I gave it to someone else, but they never wrote back. And then I just opened the Instagram, and without even speaking to this guy, he's already got the bet slips in there. just going, hey, if you need a lip this week. So I was like, even though you've been in before, Mitch, you've just made my life so much easier. He's
That's helpful.
Yeah, so he's got, it looks like he's got a few funky bets. Not funky, but just a lot of legs. He's got Dogs -7.5, Cherry, Broncos under 16.5 points. Look, it's okay. It's a classic bet.
It's, yeah, again, I don't think the Dogs win by 7.5 points. Because that's what's happening here, is he's looking at this going, the Broncos are he's essentially saying they're done.
Yep.
Which is just madness.
But like Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt, if they just decide to turn on their kicking game just for half a fucking footy, like half a game, half a match, like
there's too much experience on the park and way too much talent for them to just keep losing. I just can't see it happening personally. But that's, again, you've got, in the skeleton crew today, you've got two guys that are fucking switched on. Sebo just got to bring the boot polish this week, and he's there.
Yeah. Vibes there. I just need to polish it up a little bit.
Well, you need to ignore outside influence.
I know.
That's affecting your vibe.
I know, because like honestly, like a lot of you guys wouldn't understand, but because my dad's from a mountain in Greece where they didn't even have electricity. In fact, they didn't even speak Greek. It was an ancient peasant language. My great grandmother was like a fortune teller of that. That runs through me. It's very, very diluted because of all the golden eyes and Vice Cities and TV and all that sort of shit. But a little bit of it's still there. Yeah. And I just say, who else is picking Tilray to go over? Who else is picking AFB to go? I'm talking props. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm picking when props are going over. I'm just getting it ruined by fucking science and technology.
Yeah. You need to go back to the mountains, back to that peasant language, mate.
Yeah, I know, Aromanian it's called. I need to go, for a holiday just to somewhere where there's no electricity and no like modern stuff, just to restore my kind of telepathic kind of abilities.
Yeah. Worth noting as well for the Bulldogs, they've only played one team who are in the top 8 for points scored this season. So all the teams that they've beaten and the two teams that they've kept to nil have been bottom 3 of points scored this season. So Broncos can score points.
There we go. Thank you very much.
I mean,
thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
And we made we're
I'll
willing to look
ties.
like idiots if the Bulldogs come out and beat the Broncos, because we're not going to be the people that sit in the fence and go, oh, the Broncos can win, the Bulldogs can win. You're not saying anything. I'm saying the Broncos at 255 is fucking good value, and they likely win.
It's my favourite bet of the week. Yep. I'm not tripling it, but it's my favourite bet of the week. So there you go.
Yeah.
We move on. Roosters, Dragons, $1.73, $2.10. Anzac Day, punters and dribblers. One of the great fixtures on the sporting calendar. The line is -2.5. The total points is 45.5. Rando, talk dirty to me, baby.
It's going to be a ripper of a day at Allianz. Nice and dry. The Roosters, they've won 11 of their last 13 meetings against the Dragons. They've won 5 of their last 6 Anzac Day games against them as well. 4 of those games have been decided by 1 to 12 points. The Dragons, they have struggled in day matches, losing 5 of their last 6, failing to cover the line in each of those 5 losses. So I don't mind the Roosters there. For try scorers, James Tedesco, he's yet to score this season. However, he has scored in each of his last 5 games against the Dragons. The Dragons have also conceded a try to a fullback in 4 out of 6 games this season, making the fullback the leading try scorer against the Dragons of any position.
That's why I love my bet. I don't mind it when science and vibe meet. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm just standing out both ones here, Teddy and Clint, just because I had an Anzac vibe from them. I didn't know that Teddy scored all that times, but I just got this vibe that he just is a bit of an Anzac guy. He definitely has, a grandfather who probably had a few brothers who, whether in New Guinea or France or wherever. I just reckon he's like that. And maybe Clint didn't have, but he probably does have grandfathers and all that sort of stuff who are over there. But Clint's the type of guy that if there was a war now, even though we know how bad war can be and the atrocities of war, because we have modern technology to witness it, movies, all that sort of, he's still the type of guy who'd be like first volunteer. He'd be like, I'm getting up. That's what's right. He just digs in. You can imagine being in a foxhole with Clint. So those two.
He'd be great for morale.
If you had to pick top 3 foxhole guys, I would probably go Clint, Munster, and Tuivasa-Sheck and me. Just like if there's each foxhole could fit 4 people and you just got to try, just hold out the Germans. I think those 3 do a pretty darn good job. Should have said Teddy, but anyway.
Like it.
Yeah.
Now, that's probably a nice opportunity for me to mention what Guru's bet is. He reckons Clint gets the Anzac medal. He's triple staked it at $7.50.
Not a bad bet.
Dragons need to win.
But
I think if Dragons win, it's a fucking good bet at $7.50 as well. I like it.
I reckon it's a flip of a coin who can win.
You've just gone on one of the great Clint rants of all time.
I reckon he's primed
I think it's a
for
good
an
bet.
Anzac medal.
It's a good bet.
It's a good bet.
If you are thinking about that market, no fullback has won the Anzac Day medal, and the last 4 recipients have been the halfback.
There we go.
Well, if
there you
Dragons
go. If
win,
you
the
are thinking
halfback
about
isn't
it.
getting it, so neither half is.
Hugo
You reckon
Savala.
Kyle will get it?
Don't think so.
No, it'd be Lachlan Ilias. He'd be the halfback.
Neither one of them. No offense.
Lachlan
I don't
Ilias
think
or
they would
Hugo
get the Anzac
Savala.
medal.
Take
Like,
your pick.
I don't think they would. I think they can play well. I don't think they'll get the Anzac medal. I think if Clint can crash over for one and then just, do a couple of Clint tackles, try-saving tackles, and just, the footage cuts to him and he's so passionate, he could get it. But if they lose, he won't get it. So, yeah.
I originally had Billy Smith at $2.60. Good style of a bloke. Billy Smith comes back into the side. Injuries have really fucked around with his career, I think it's fair to say. But he's an absolute beast, Billy Smith. Very good football. And what I like about Billy is he runs the sort of line that makes me want to undo my fly. And in an Anzac Day game, that's exactly what I'm looking for. A bloke running a line, the sort of line that will make me undo the fly. Now, he was 260. I ummed and ahed, and then I just liked your Teddy rhetoric. I like the Teddy rhetoric. Teddy's a big game player. He's one of the greats. He's a dear friend of the show. Shout out to you, Teddy. So I'm just going to boost that. It's $6.58. Now, I hope that Teddy scores. Obviously, I might be walking into my own trap there by having a Billy and then walking into the lure of value. But I like the vibe of Teddy.
Yeah.
I like the vibe of him.
If you added him and it was under $5, it's a definite trap. But $6.58, you can stomach that.
But it's a vibe.
yeah,
it's like I'm not adding in Tupou, for example. That would be.
Yeah.
I'm just adding it for value's sake, I think. Lippy has Marky Mark onto the wing this week.
Yep, right wing.
Sloan, Smith, Teddy, 22.45. Bit to happen, brah. Obviously not impossible. We move to the Warriors and the Knights at Apollo Project Stadium. Where's that?
Christchurch, home of the Crusaders in the Super Rugby.
$1.32 the Warriors, $3.45 the Knights. The Knights suck. My Knights spoon bet's starting to really arouse people. I get a lot of shit for that bet after the Knights won their round one game. I go, mate, what are you fucking doing, man? Their attack is toilet. Line -8.5. Total points 44.5. Rando, what's going on here, bruh?
It's going to be dry in Christchurch for this game. The Knights, they've lost 10 consecutive games as an underdog. The Warriors, they love hosting Newcastle across the ditch, winning 9 of their last 10 games against them. So I do like the Warriors here to win well. For try scorers, you got Greg Marzu. He's paying 2s for this one. He's scored 5 tries in his last 4 games against the Warriors. A left winger has scored in 3 consecutive games against the Warriors as well. But if you want a bit more value, Jackson Ford, he plays game 50 for the Warriors this week. He scored in 2 of his last 4 games against the Knights. The Knights have conceded 20% of their tries this season through the middle. He's $8.75.
Screw it. I'll take that. Tobler, can you change it for me because my computer's broken and I can't log into Wi-Fi? I had KPP and I was like, I just want to pick some long donkey here because I don't know what's going to happen. The Knights are shit, but surely there's a bounce back at some point. Warriors, you kind of can't trust to, flush a team. So I'll just take that. I had KPP and it's like, it'd be funny because Eddie was on it last week. Then he's like $6 and it's like, hey, barely ever scores. Then it's like the Knights have scored 60 points this entire season, I think.
Probably less.
In the past 4 games, they've scored 24 points at an average of 6 per game.
So that's like 4 or 5 tries and I'm picking a Knights try scorer. Like, what am I doing? I'll just take the long donkey from the Warriors. What was it, 850?
$8.75.
Is he starting?
Mate. Yeah, he's starting prop.
Perfect. I'll take it.
Nice. Halasima has been dropped to the pine this week for Capewell.
Yep.
Halasima's been fucking delicious this season so far. He's been scoring tries from the pine as well.
3 straight games.
He had a great game last week. He had a great game the week before. I think he gets okay minutes. I like him one out at $5.80. He's scored the last 3 games. I'm getting $5.80 for him. He's 40 cents. He's 40 cents better off than Kai Pearce-Paul.
And he's scored. Yeah,
And he
right.
Scored his
scored,
last 3
he
games.
scored the last 3 weeks. He scored a double.
He averages 30 minutes off the pine as well this
That's
season.
enough.
That's plenty.
That's
plenty
plenty.
of time to get
That's
into his
enough.
work.
Yep.
$5.80. Kai Pearce-Paul in his what 30th game of first grade has scored 1 try. He's 620. Halasima, 4 tries in 3 games, something like that. $5.80. Yeah, I'll take that.
I mean, there's some Kai Pearce-Paul breadcrumbs, but hey, we're not going to take them because we're laying them out for you guys. That's part of the show as well, as we lay you out a breadcrumb.
Yes, we
but
do.
like, no, and if Kai Pearce-Paul scores and then whoever I'm on, Jackson Ford doesn't, that's not me misreading my vibe because I didn't have a vibe for KPP. It was a lol bet because Eddie was on it last week and I was like, lol, wouldn't it be funny if he scored this week? That's not a vibe. It's a lol bet.
But you're right. The breadcrumb bet is actually for the dribbler.
Yeah,
it's not really for us
Yeah.
because if I'm sitting here and I go, oh, there's a breadcrumb there, I'll jump on it. That's not really.
Well, then
how
you've
it
ruined the
works.
breadcrumb.
You've ruined the breadcrumb for everyone else.
It's like
The
telling
breadcrumb's
people a wish when you
Yeah.
see, a shooting.
Exactly.
Keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
Might come true.
The breadcrumb's for you. Keep that in mind. Also, I'm hot right now, so Halasima scores at $5.80. Again, 40 cents better than fucking Kai Pearce-Paul. What is going on? Open your eyes. Best and Halasima, $15.35 for the Roo, and Lippy Warriors Metcalf Halasima, $18.55. He gets it. He gets it. That's not a bad bet from the Lippy.
Both scored in 3 straight games.
I actually like that.
Metcalf and,
I actually like that bet
Halasima.
from the Lippy. That's a good bet, Lippy. That's a really nice bet. Well done to you, son. So, just a recap on the Kai Pearce-Paul guru thing. He's got weeks 8 to 11, 8, 9, 10, 11 for Kai Pearce-Paul to score. So it starts this week. If he does score in one of those 4 rounds, we each give him 3 units. No, we each give him a unit, adding up to 3. And if he doesn't, which he won't, fingers crossed, then we each get a unit from him. Making sense? Cool. On to the Storm and the Rabbitohs. Amy Park, $1.20 the Storm, $4.50 the Rabbits. Lions 14.5. Total points 48.5. This is a sort of game where you can only apply hindsight to it. If the Storm fucking humped the Rabbitohs, you go, of course they did. They come off the back of a bad loss. They needed to get a big win. But if the Rabbitohs beat them or if it's tight, you go, well, of course. The Dolphins fucking beat them last week. Like, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Rando, what do you like?
Well, for me, it just looks Storm all the way. There'll be 1.9 millimetres of rain during the day, but it will dry up at night. The South Sydney Rabbitohs, they've never won in Melbourne, losing all 19 fixtures there. Craig Bellamy, he's won 13 consecutive games against Wayne Bennett as well. And the Storm, they have won their last 5 games after conceding 30 or more points the week before. In 2 of their last 3 games, they have scored 50-plus points. So this does seem like it has all the stats for a humping. For try scorers, I could tell you that Coates has scored 34 tries in 30 games at Amy Park, or that Ryan Pappenhausen has scored in all 6 games against the Rabbitohs. But I'll give you a bit more value, and this is on Jackie Wyden at left centre for the Rabbitohs. He has only scored once this season, and he's only scored once in 21 games against the Storm. However, the left centre has been banging against the Storm. They've scored in 5 out of 6 games this season. And with Latrell at fullback, I really like that left edge for the Rabbitohs attack. So he's $4.10 if you want a bit more value.
Colin Matungi left
Left second row, yes.
good because I've got him Colin Matungi and just Colin Matungi. A Colin Matungi trying to do Colin Matungi things for me. $5 I'm getting for Colin Matungi. Like to say that name, Colin Matungi.
It's a great name.
Colin Matungi, you've got a great name, son. $5, take it or leave it, Colin Matungi. Take it or leave it, mate. Left edge, doing things apparently. I understand. Like, this is the sort of game, like, okay, Storm, what's Storm 13 plus paying? Like fucking $1.50?
Yep.
Great. Okay, cool. I'll just, I'm not going to do that. What, you throw in like fucking Coates at $1.50? Like, it just doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't get you anywhere. I'm just banking on them going left once and big bad Colin Matungi, who's lost weight, looking good, fit, hot, and ready to rock. Crash ball. Bang, $5. Simple. You'll notice I'm simplifying things a little bit this week.
I'm not doing it, but I can respect just one try scorer in bets. I think that's like how you do it. Find a try scorer to value. Now, that's not what I'm doing because there's a few layers to my bet here. As a Rabbitohs fan, I know we get pumped in Melbourne every fucking time. It happens all the time. In fact, it's always happened, right? You just said, Rando, they've never won down there. I'm just trying to reverse jinx them. I'm taking a couple Melbourne try scorers because it should be a flushing. But if my bet doesn't get up and Rabbitohs at least keep it, so I don't want us to win. I just don't want us. I'm very scared that no team has won the premiership after 50 points being put in thing has happened. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of the 50 points. So either my bet does get up and I get some units, or I've just reverse jinxed myself and they don't put 50 points on them and it turns into like a 30 to 18 game or something like that. I'll be happy because everyone's a bit injured. I'm just taking Pap and Katoa. I think Pap should score because he's scoring bloody every week. And Katoa's been a little bit cold. He hasn't scored the last 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
2 or 3.
2 or 3. So those two, you get 4.15. It's not an inspiring bet. There's not much to it. It's hard to look at your team who are likely going to get flushed and make a bet on it. It really is, and I feel this is the best way forward for me.
Best way forward for Sebo. Guru's got White and Munster and Pappy at 21.64. Is he just? Let me just have a little look. Yeah, he's conserving big time. Oh yeah.
Guru is.
Oh, he's conserving big time. Yep. Yes,
sirree. Guru's the one guy to say that he'll always have a crack. He likes that, like, I'm not a coward rhetoric. Like, he's always like, I'm not a coward, have a crack. He's just in pure conservation mode. Pure conservation.
Well, it's just you start to think back to last season. I certainly have been. A lot of people saying Guru's lost his identity. That was at the Dribblers Day Out on the weekend. I tend to agree with them. Is that if you took away his unit scoopers, which he rightly got, and congratulations to him, where was he?
Out of money.
Because
one of the unit scoopers was $40, and I think he got another one at around $20, and
he wasn't great. He wasn't great last year, and maybe we're starting to see that. But now I'm just opening it up for him to get a fucking unit scooper, and credit to him if he gets one. I mean, that's his strategy, but.
Look, it's a tactic we all do, but I mean, maybe I'm not there, but I at least see myself. I only start conserving when it comes down to maths of, do I have enough money to at least put my unit scoopers on? That's when I'll start conserving. Where I go, I don't have enough money to get to the end with my unit scoopers. Otherwise, I'm still having a crack until that point comes.
Mate, it's the same old once you stop playing footy. Once you stop conserving, you've lost the game.
Yeah,
we see it all the fucking time. If you don't open the arms and start swinging freely, right, then you're going to shank one.
Yep.
Happens in all sports, golf, tennis, rugby league, football. You've got to play football. You can't stop. Because if you do, you're fucked. And that's what I'm seeing out of our Guru, and I guarantee we're seeing it out of Tom. Lippy, Storm 13+, Pap, Anderson, Munster, 14.45. Sure. There's a world where that gets up, especially if it's a flushing. But they're a bit soulless for mine. Cowboys, Titans, Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Cowboys, $1.40.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
We're the best team.
Pretty short.
At the moment.
$3 to Titans. Lions, -8.5. Total points, 49.5. Rando, what do you like here, mate?
I like everything about the Cowboys in this game. It's going to be dry and 29 degrees in Townsville for this one, so hot and humid. The Cowboys, they've won 11 of their last 12 home games as a favourite. They have won their last 11 of their last 12 home games against the Titans. They have won their last 10 Saturday fixtures against the Titans as well, with their last loss in 2012. They've covered the line in 9 of their last 10 Saturday fixtures as well. So I think the Cowboys can easily cover that -7.5. For try scorers, Jeremiah Nanai, he is yet to score this season. However, he's back starting at left second row. He's scored 4 tries in 4 games against the Titans. The Titans, they have conceded a try to a left second rower in each of their last 3 games. I mean, he hasn't scored all season, and we've got him at $2.70, which I think is a bit unders. I reckon he should be in 3s, but you take what you get.
Nanai, you reckon, do you?
Nanai.
Hey, remember 2 seasons ago? He'd score 2 a game.
Yeah, he was $1.92 at some points.
Yeah.
Cheaper than the wingers. That's why I think he's going to come back into that try scoring form.
I'm so tempted to take one of Rando's. I'm just going to do some math here. Sorry, I'm doing it on my phone because...
You do some math.
Yeah.
Carney P.
Yep.
Carney P back in the side.
Back from injury.
I love Carney P. Carney P, what? You had him last year for the top try score.
I did. The thing that is, I had Bo Fermor in my bet, and I might change it, but the thing that's worrying me is Brimo's great, as we see for himself, but the left-hand side, he's not the best. They haven't been banging too much. You know what I mean? Like getting it out to the wing. Am I wrong there? Am I crazy there? Brimo's not a 3-man cutout pass sort of operator.
You don't need to be.
Brimo is the top try scorer for the Titans at the moment.
Yeah.
And the left wingers have scored at a 33% rate this season.
But AKP, you've got quality in your side.
He can score from anywhere.
He can score from anywhere. What's he? What am I getting him at? 210, 2 something.
He'll be at. Oh, surely he's $1.90, I reckon.
I think he's 2 something.
You're getting
Carney.
198.
190.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
call it $2.
46 tries in 45 games in his career, surely.
Jesus Christ! What like that? You're not walking. Who's walking past that? He's usually $1.40 AKP. I'm a big fan of his work. He goes in and Purdue. I like Purdue. 458 for the 2 of them.
Don't mind him.
Quick sticks that cunt.
Can run.
You'd hope that just where Carney P will score is just that the Cows are kind of doing something in the attacking zone and they fumble it on and then someone just picks it up and passes.
It'll be a
straight to
loose
Carney
ball.
P.
He'll pick it up and run.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't care how he scores. It's not going to be out the back of gorgeous shapes.
No, it's not. It's not.
But, things happen in rugby league.
Look, I was tempted to walk into another mathematical rando trap. Rando's like the bad guy in the recent Mission Impossible, the AI that's everywhere, just trying to lure you in. I've got to stay as Ethan Hunt. Unpredictable. That's why the AI is so scared of him, because he can't understand him.
Yeah.
I've got.
He can't be modelled.
Yeah, he can't be modelled. Ethan can't be modelled.
No.
But as soon as he starts, the AI can try make him kind of, go for the girl or something. I got to stay away from it. I got to stay away from the AI. Yeah. The entity, I believe it's called Rando. The entity. The entity nearly got me in with Jeremiah. Is it Nanai? Nanai. Yeah. But I had a bit of a vibe. I had a bit of a Bo Fermor vibe, just because I haven't watched some games recently of the Titans that closely. But when I do, he looks like he really wants to score and he's really giving it his all. Brimo, he's on side with Brimo, right?
Yep.
So Brimo, he can kick for himself, but he also can maybe just a little grubber through for him or something like that. I just like those second rowers who just look like they're putting in the work. So I've got him, because him alone is something like, where is he? He's down here, 560. So you put him in with a little Purdue, which everyone seems to be on, is in my Supercoach team. I hate aligning my Supercoach team and my bets because it just never goes well, but fuck it. 12.78. That's just a little vibey.
Purdue.
Very
12.78.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's because Fermor's 560. I mean,
I like that.
Has he scored yet? It looks like he should.
Yeah,
he scored first on the weekend.
Yeah, he scored 2
tries.
tries.
He did score on the weekend.
Both tries he scored his first, second, or third. So there's a breadcrumb. The Cowboys, they've conceded the left second rower against the Cowboys has a 67% try scoring rate. So
I don't mind that, but I really hate he scored last week. I didn't know. I was up in the sky when it was happening.
Maybe you need to take flight again.
Oh, no.
I'm going to stick with it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't love that.
It's your gut feeling.
My gut feeling. I was like, surely he's going to score at some point. I've been watching him.
But was that the gut feeling that he must score at one point?
Yeah.
Because he has scored.
Yeah, I know. It's ruined me. But hey, for 12.78, it's almost in conservation territory, so I can at least roll with it. So that's okay, because it's still.
You got to remember, you can't let outside forces dictate.
Yeah. I can't let the entity get to me.
No.
I've got to stay unpredictable.
Yeah.
Fucking IMF, Impossible Mission. What are they called?
I don't know.
You're on your own, mate.
The new one's coming out soon. I know that. I'm gonna go see it. It's all
Part
out
2?
there. Yeah, part 2. Like Mission Impossible is good, man. Like they're at least
They're the easiest watch of all time.
Yeah, they're good, and it's always like I did it maybe a year ago where you're like, fuck, every time the new one comes out, not every time, but you're like, you can almost go back and rewatch them all. Like it's like a Harry Potter in a way where you're like, you watch one and you're like, fuck, maybe, I'll just go.
May as well watch all of them.
Yeah.
My favourite part about the second one, which was obviously set in Australia, is that their base, their like HQ, is out in the desert.
Yeah.
They just like they go out to some fucking sheep farm every time.
Yeah. But then there are always just shots of them on the harbour.
Yeah. It's harbour or desert.
Yeah.
Harbour, desert. Beautiful stuff. Fucking, and they go up to Randwick actually, get a couple of winners. So just nice nostalgic stuff. Where am I? I'm lost as fuck. Guru, AKP, Drinky, Fermor, Purdue, $50.70. See what I mean? See what I'm trying to say to you? About where Guru's at as a man?
Yeah, he's conserving. Shout out also, one of the biggest regrets in my life, when Tom Cruise was filming Mission Impossible over here, I went to see Circus Oz, and he was sitting about from me to the Stag's Head over there as a kid, and my dad went up and asked him for an autograph, and he had like a headshot, and it was like written in gold, like not like silver pen, like to Sebastian, blah, 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 Tom Cruise. Got that thing framed.
He walks around with photos of his face.
I think there would have been people like with him. In the night, it's not, there was no like
era.
No selfie thing or anything. So like your people around you would have stuff like that ready. And then I used that thing until I was about 27. Used to feature at some house parties, kind of glass framing. And I fucking loved it. And then eventually I just threw it out on a move once. And I was like, why did I do that?
Well, you threw it out.
I was just decluttering. And I'm like, why did I do that? Like, no idea. Just one of those like huge declutter moods. I'm like, why am I carrying around this thing? But shout out TC, always been a fan, even with all the Scientology and all the weird stuff, always said you can make a movie that's kind of a hush shit action script into a great movie. So I stuck by him when everyone was, everyone was hating on him. It's the cool thing to hate him. South Park came out with an episode, Everyone hated on Matt Damon for a second because of South Park, and they thought, oh, Matt,
but then people realise that he's way too good.
And the reason why they did the Matt Damon thing is, the thing melted, and they go, we like Matt Damon so much, it's the only thing we could come up with to just say his name still. So everyone was like, oh, they hate him, so we hate Matt Damon's a loser. Like, what are you talking about?
No.
What are you, Jason Bourne?
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Get it
anyway,
together.
Shut up, sheep. TC and Matt Damon are good actors.
Right, I get that up, you sheeple. Lippy, Drinky, Jojo, AKP, Tuolungi, Titans plus 8.5, 28.40. I just, I'm just not in the mood to even give that an ounce of my fucking time. Panthers Seagulls, Combank Stadium, $1.52 the Panthers, $2.55 the Seagulls, Lions minus 5.5, total points 46.5. Rando, just tell me what you like, because I don't like my bet, and I'm probably just going to take what you like.
I was just going to go full bias Manly here. 5 millimetres expected during the game, so it will be wet. Obviously, Tom Trbojevic back in the side for Manly. 71% win record when he plays since 2019 versus 34% win record without him. The Seagulls, they have won 10 of their last 14 games, coming off a 9-day turnaround. The Panthers, they have lost 6 of their last 9 games played in the wet. So I don't mind Manly to at least cover the line. For try scorers, Ruben Garrick, he has scored 5 tries in his last 5 games at Combank. He may have only scored 1 in his last 9 against the Panthers. However, a right centre has scored against the Panthers in 3 consecutive games. You're getting $3.10 for Ruben.
I'm not going anywhere near Ruben, but Entity, I like your thought process. I'm bringing my own lines to this. I didn't even know it was raining. But I'm adjusting the lines. I'm taking Manly plus 9.5, and then unders. The line's like 4.5, isn't it?
I think it's 7.5.
5.5.
5.5. Yeah, so plus 9.5, under 53.5. I don't know why I got odd numbers in there. Maybe there's a field goal. But look, it's too hard to read this one because Manly been playing like shit, but without Tommy, that's expected. And then he's back. Is he fully fit? We don't know. Penrith have been playing like shit, minus 1 game. Are they back? We don't know. I expect, hopefully, that it's a bit clunky on both sides and that the unders of 53.5, bring my own sort of line sort of stuff, hits there. Then Manly, plus 9.5. It's sketchy. That only gets you 218, but I don't know. Manly could win. There's too many variables here. Penrith, are they back? We don't know. I don't know. So I'm happy to kind of bring my own lines here and just take the low odds. Because I have a bit of a vibe here. Even though my bet looks very entity-ish, it is kind of vibey, 218.
Nice, brah. I had Saab and McLean, Casey McCloyne. I'm going to stick with that at $4.95. Turbo he adds a fuckload to our attack, and I'm just seeing maybe coming out of our own half, just some stuff out right. Gets it out to Sub burns everyone, scores, and then Casey McLean, because he's like 235 or something, which I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Scored in 5 straight games, Casey McLean.
Righto. Scored in 5 straight games and got in 235. So put them together, 495. I actually quite like that bet now.
Yeah, it's not bad if Turbo's back. Because he's on Nath's side, right, Casey McLean?
No, he's on the other side, left side. But he still finds a way to score.
Where the hell's Jenkins then?
Left wing.
Left wing.
Casey McLean's left centre.
Oh, left centre.
But
okay,
Casey McLean never passes it to Tom Jenkins.
Yeah.
Lot of hogs this season. Lot of hogs. Guru, Tungo, first, second, or third, 575. Sure. And the Lippy, Saab, McLean, Alamotti, $8.15. We're getting there. 2 to go. Raiders, Dolphins, GIO Stadium, 160 the Raiders, 235 to the Dolphins. Lions, 4.5. Total points, 46.5. I have fuck all idea on how this game goes down, Rando.
Hopefully this should convince you. It's going to be dry in the nation's capital for this one. The Dolphins, they've travelled outside of Queensland 14 times in their history. They've come away with the win twice. They have lost their last 6 such games, covering the line in just one of those games as well. The Raiders, they have won 7 of their last 8 Sunday afternoon games in Canberra. They have won their last 2 games against the Dolphins in Golden Point by a field goal. For try scorers, Sebi Chris, he scored in 5 out of 7 games this season, including in each of his last 3 games. The left centre is the top try scorer against the Finns this season with 4 tries as well. So love the Raiders and love Sebi Chris.
I mean, I'm tempted to go there, but I just want to do this bet once, and it's not going to come off because he scored twice last week. But I love a Stoney.
Yeah.
I love a Stoney.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
He scored the same try. Remember his last game for the Eels before he did his ACL? It was backing up some sort of penalty kick. It hit the post. He did his ACL or something crashing over. He just backs up. He's coming off the bench. He did it twice last week. He's a Mittagong boy, I'm pretty sure. Southern Highlands boy, Stoney.
Mossvale.
So kind of, my neck of the woods. I just want to be on a Stoney, and I'm not going to do it on a game where I kind of have a vibe on and think I know what's going to happen. I've got no idea what's going to happen here, so I can just imagine I'm just taking a Stoney purely for the fun of it at $7.75.
I have absolutely no idea what's going to go on either, so I'm just going to take Rando's advice. One of the few times where I'm just going to go all in on your son. Raiders into Chris, $3.05. Like, what you're saying makes sense to me. I get it. I'm not confident of anything, really. I'm going up and down. I'm looking at the odds. I'm like, Huddy Young, he scored twice in the last 3 games. He probably doesn't score. Yeah. He probably doesn't score. I think this is the time to get off him. I think instinct will, if you're a sheeple, if you're a sheep, you're on him this week. Yeah. You're probably on him for a double this week. I bet you so many cunts are on him for a double. it would make your eyes water.
Yeah.
You don't get it though.
Yeah. So, get on your double and your ivermectin or whatever the hell it was called. What was the
ivermectin is a sheep drink.
What was when everyone when COVID?
Like the horse drink, like the horse drench or whatever. Or was that ivermectin? It might have been. Yeah, for COVID. Yeah.
I've lost you.
Oh no, it was like it was ways to treat COVID.
A few people might know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like an anti-parasitic drug.
Yeah.
There you go. Ivermectin.
Even though we're the ones with the sheep because we're getting vaccines.
Raiders, Chris, $3.05. Guru, Dolphins will win 1 to 6,580. And Lippy, Huddy. This is outrageous. Huddy, Chris, Hammer, either team to win by less than 12.5 points. I actually don't hate that.
It's not
bet.
bad.
I actually don't mind that bet at all. He's
had
some good bets this week, the Lippy. I know I've been brushing over a couple of them. It's just because I'm not in the fucking mood, mate. Sorry. Not your fault, really.
But it's
other
like
shit going on. I haven't hated his bets, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good, that bet.
Throwing a little hammer in there, that's pretty good because, He scored a few times the other week, but he hasn't really been around. It's good to throw in. But he's got a huddy. But yeah,
I've my vibe-o-meter, which has been redlining lately, it's not picking a heap up from this round.
no, this round is.
It peaked for the Bronx. Bronx I got a lot from, but everything else I'm not getting a heap from.
I honestly reckon if you just got a coin and just flipped it for the line, the drachma, you'd come out on top. You'd come out on top. Honestly, I honestly reckon it would happen.
Just drachma them up.
Just drachma it up, flip the lines. Who knows what the hell's going to happen?
Last but not least, Tigers Sharks, $2.80 the Tigers, $1.45 the Sharks. Where am I? Apologies. The line is 6.5 points. It's at Leichhardt this game. 46.5 points, the total points. Rando, what are you seeing, son?
77 millimetres in the morning expected at Leichhardt.
7 or 70?
7, please. But it's going to be dry by kickoff. The Tigers, they've won 4 of their last 6 games at Leichhardt. However, they've only won 1 of their last 8 day games at the venue. The Sharks, they love a day game. They've won 11 of their last 12 daytime fixtures. They've won and covered the line in their last 5 daytime meetings against the Tigers as well. For try scorers, Mawini Hiroti, probably his last game before he unfortunately will get dropped for Kyle Iro. He scored in 5 consecutive games. The Sharks left centre has scored in every single game this season. The Tigers right edge is their weakest, conceding 36% of their tries this season, including a try to a left centre in 3 of the last 5 games. So do like Hiroti here in his swan song, I guess, for potentially the season.
How much Hiroti paying?
I think it's $2.60, $2.40.
So I'll change it over
2.55.
for me. Change it over for me. I got him in my Supercoach, Sam. I don't mind a little last dance sort of vibe from Hiroti. I had over 46 something in there just because I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't be inspired by anything.
It's not a very expiring game, is it?
And I remember, I've just got this weird memory that the Tigers pounded them last time at Leichhardt last
Yep,
year.
they
pretty
did
sure.
at night though.
So I just want to stay away from results. I don't mind that from Rando. Sometimes you got to lean into the entity. You can't block the entity off completely. When you need the entity, you turn to it. That, computational power of the entire world right over there. I've got to use it sometimes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't love this bet, but I think there's a possibility that it comes off. Now, that might make no sense whatsoever, and it probably doesn't. It's because I'm out of path. I think the Tigers can win this game. The Sharks have not shown me enough this season to make me inspired. I know that I keep getting shit on from that, but if you watch them play, they haven't wowed me. They haven't dazzled me. The Tigers got a bit of a reality check last week against the Eels. Mitch Moses was fucking superb. Hats off to him. I'm hoping, I'm predicting, I'm praying for a bit of a bounce back here for the Tigers because I don't want them to fall back into that fall in a heap come last situation that has plagued their last 3 seasons. A big win here against the soft underbelly of the Sharks could do wonders for the season. Buller, who looked busy last week, and I'm a huge fan of, he was popping up everywhere. 564 for the 2 of them. This is just a little I stand with you Tigers bet.
Yep.
I stand with you. Yep. I know you're going through the shit. It doesn't seem to be getting anywhere in terms of a resolution, but I stand with you. And that's the bet. Guru has Hazelton at 9.75. Lippy has Hiroti and Toa and Stone Street at 13.69. Unit Scoopers.
I have brought my own lines to this.
Yep. Talk to me, baby. Oh, because you said you were going to do that last week, and now you dole it, dog.
Yeah. So I've got Broncos plus 12.5. I've talked about how I think they can even win the game, so I hope 12.5 is enough. Dragons plus 8.5 and Zach match. I think it's going to be tight. You can't really trust. Roosters could come out and put 40 on them, or they could also lose by 40. So I'll take the plus side of the points there.
Yep.
Fish, again, coin flip time. The Raiders should win, but if Katoa plays anything like he did last week, I think 8.5 points is good for the Fish. Knights plus 16.5. It's scary, but it's also a lot of points. Surely they can manage a few tries because I don't see the Warriors putting 40 plus on them. So if the Knights can just get a couple of tries, plus 6.5 should see me there. Then I've got to get some try scorers in to juice it because obviously bring your own lines. It's very short. Purdue and Pap. That gets me 21.69. I fucking love this bet. I love this bet.
He loves it. Kid loves it. Now, I'm just checking something.
I'll go through. Ruse got
Please.
Dogs to win both halves. Then Dragons to win, Fish to win, Pappy, 24.72. It's basically my bet, except we're on the different side of the Broncos and the Dogs. But we could still both get up because the Dogs can win both halves and the Broncos still can get plus 2.5 point bang, if you know what I mean. So I don't mind that from the Roo. Then Lippy, you've got, I think he's got a smoothie here. He's got Cherry, Billy Smith, Metcalf, Pap, Carney P, Saab, Huddy, and Hiroti for 783.38. Season end up.
God damn. Now, I've got some $2 boys. I got some $2 boys. I was close last week, and I don't mind the vibe of the bet. I don't mind the vibe of the $2 boys. I have Marky Mark on the sting. Jesse Arthur's AKP and Saab for $17.24.
Not bad for $2 boys. For $2
I like
boys.
the $2 boys angle that I'm going for. I really like it, punters and dribblers. And as Sebo says, if you don't land a unit scooper, you've flushed 33 units down the shitter.
33% of your kitty down the shitter.
If you don't hit a scooper.
Yeah.
So you got to hit a scooper. This is my way of trying to get one out of the way, and then I can go for glory. And I'm doing it via the $2 boys, who I have a bit of a feeling about. Now, Tom's not here. I don't know if you've noticed. So the hot seat bet will be on Instagram. That wraps us up. I'd like to thank the Skeleton crew for all their hard work today. Sebo, you've been terrific. Randa, you've been impeccable.
Thank you.
I like that you upped the volume this week.
Mercy.
Okay, you came
Gusto.
and you delivered when we needed you to, and even Tobler chipped in. No one really cares what he has to say, but he did chip in.
You can edit that out, Sebo.
So thank you very much. Shout out to the Skeleton crew. Shout out to Neds, big supporters of ours, and enjoy your rugby league football and your Anzac Day. Shout out to the Anzacs, big supporters of your work. See you next week. Bye.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website